Hello and welcome to this video. So in this video now we are going to talk about how to draft your playsuit. Okay, let's go. So like I told us, the playsuit contains the upper part and the lower part, and in this playsuit also we're going to include our waistband. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to go about that in the course of the video. Now let's move. The first thing you want to do, of course, is to get your measurement down. Okay, if possible, write down the divisions that follow suit and you start. So you need about a sheet of a brown paper like I've told us before, and that's all. We begin. You need your pencil, you need your ruler, you need your other things, and your tape, and of course, you know, the necessary things you should need. Just get them down. So the first thing I want to do is to mark my margin. Now your margin is very important when drafting a pattern here. It's very important. So you can create the upper margin, that is the horizontal margin, and the vertical margin, which is the side margin. So I don't know the kind of paper you are working with. So if your paper is as straight as mine on the margins, you may not need to do the margins, okay? So the natural margin of my paper is straight. I just did the margin just to show you. Sometimes I don't draw the margins if I have straight natural margins from the paper. So it depends on what you are working with. So after drawing your margin, we begin. So this becomes your shoulder line, because we're starting from the top part of the body, and this becomes your center front. Okay, what am I doing? Writing it upside down. Center front. This becomes your center front. Okay, this becomes your shoulder line, and this margin becomes your center front margin. So we start. Now the first thing you want to mark, okay, the next thing rather you want to do is to look for your vertical points. The vertical points are the points on your body. You have the shoulder point, you have the armhole point, you have the bust point, the waistline point. On these points are where your horizontal measurement goes in. So we are going to look for those points. The first point you want to look for is your armhole point. I already showed us how to calculate the armhole point. So you're going to look for that point. For me, it's a total of 8 inches because I approximated it was supposed to be 7 3/4 of an inch. Now I approximated to the nearest whole number to get 8 inches. Now this 8 inches will start from my shoulder slant. Yes, that's what we call shoulder slant. Shoulder slant is the natural curve that comes on your shoulder. Okay, if you check your shoulder is not straight for anybody. So we usually use 1 inch to create your shoulder slant. After the shoulder slant is where your armhole point measurement should start from. So therefore, I'm going to include that slant to whatever my armhole point measurement is. Now my armhole point is 8, right? I'll include the slant to it. It becomes 9 inches. So I'm working with 9 inches for my shoulder, my armhole point rather. Then I'll also look for my bust point. This is my armhole point. My bust point is 10 inches. Then the next point I'm looking for is my waistline. We're not working with under bust here. There's no bustier in this dress, so it's a free dress. So I'm just working with our waistline. Our waistline is 17 inches. I'm going to mark that. Now I want to create a straight line. To create a straight line, I need more than 1 point. So I'm going to find all these points in another area around here. Okay, so everything I marked here, I'll bring it here. 9 inches, 10 inches, and 17 inches. Now I'm going to create a line. I'm going to create lines for all this. Now all our points have been found. I have the shoulder point, I have the armhole point. This is the armhole, or you can say armhole line, you can say shoulder line, armhole line. Then this is the bust. Okay, this is the bust line. Okay, I'm writing upside down. My apologies on my handwriting. Then this is the waist line. Now we're going to work on the upper area. If you watch closely, you see that there's a a big difference here. There's one area here and there's another area here. So we're going to work on this upper area. So the first thing you want to look for after, or the next thing rather, the next thing you want to look for after looking for your point is to put your shoulder measurement. Now your shoulder measurement is usually divided by 2. So my shoulder measurement is 16 inches. I'm going to divide it by 2 and I have 8 inches. I will mark that 8 inches on the shoulder line. I'll still come to the armhole line and mark that same 8 inches. Then I'll square up the line. Now I've created 2 points to create a line. So I'll square up this line. So I'll use my pencil to mark, because this line is not going to be my permanent line. Yes, if you check your body, I'll be referring you to your body. You find out that there are no straight areas in the body. Every area comes with a curve at one point or another. So for this line we have created, we'll use it to find our armhole curve. So this is let's say this is the line that connects your shoulder line to your armhole line. Okay, so on this point now, that shoulder slant we included earlier, you're going to take it out. You take it out. Then from this shoulder slant you have created now, which is this point, okay, let me use a prominent marker. So from this point now to this armhole line now is my is the figure for my armhole measurement, right, that we calculated before. So I'll look for the midpoint. 8 inches divided by 2 is giving me 4. If you have a figure that is maybe confusing to divide, you can just share your tape into 2 and crease. Okay, wherever you crease will be your midpoint. Okay, that's easier to do. So this is the point. On this midpoint I've looked for, I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to come in 1/2 inch and set that aside. This becomes my guideline to create my curve, or this becomes the point that will guide me to create my armhole curve. On the armhole line also, you're going to find a point. The point for creating your armhole curve on the armhole line is to put in your bust measurement divided by 4. So my bust measurement is 38 inches. If I divide it by 4, I have 9.5 inches. Okay. Oh, I didn't know you've not seen that. Now my bust measurement is 38 inches. I divided by 4, and what I got is 9.5 inches. So I'll mark that. Now this will help me to create my armhole curve, so I won't be lost on where exactly I should stop or begin. So with the help of my curve, I can make use of this curve. You can also make use of this. This is another curve you can easily get from the market. So we're going to connect the lines. I'm going to connect the points. Now we have 3 points to connect: the shoulder slant point, the 1/2 inch we came in by, and your bust measurement on the armhole line. So these 3 points should connect together. Though it's not a must you connect everything once, you can decide to go with the slant and this one first. Then you continue from here to the bust measurement on the armhole line. Okay, then it will give you your curve. So we have succeeded in creating our armhole curve. The next thing you want to create is your neckline. Now this dress comes with a basic neckline, so it depends on what you want to have. So for me, I will stick with the basic neckline that it has. Now for the neckline, I am sticking with the basic that it comes with. So you can do your own variation, you can do whatever neckline that you feel like doing. But for me, I'm going to work with the basic and a little bit of modification to it, or alteration to it. Now on the shoulder line, okay, I am going to mark my neckline width. My neckline width I want to use is 3 inches. Now the basic is usually 3 by 3. So on the shoulder line you mark 3 inches. On the center front line you mark 3 inches. Okay. So I'm going to work with 3 inches on the shoulder line. Then on the center front line, I'm going to mark 3.5. Okay, I want it to come down a little bit. You can go as far as 4 inches. You can still go as far as 5 inches. Okay, you just have to work with what suits you the most. Now I'm going to create a square for a guideline. This usually helps you if you are a beginner. Okay, so whatever I've marked on the center front, I'm going to bring it to this other point here. That's the marking on my shoulder line, to find a straight line, to create a straight line. Remember, to create a straight line, you must have 2 points, or you must have more than 1 point. Okay, so I'm going to square this up with my pencil like this, because I am going to create a curve. I'm not making a square neckline. Okay, I'm making a U neckline, so I will use my curve to create my neckline. You can even do a freehand. You can do a freehand, you know. So you can see the square will help you to know what to do. It will guide you. So with my curve, you can see it's matching up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's matching up with what I did with my freehand. So this now, I'm going to my shoulder slant. Remember the shoulder slant. From the shoulder slant, you're going to create a line to connect to this our neckline, the highest point of our neckline, which is the highest point of our shoulder area. Okay, so can you see that? So I've succeeded in creating the armhole line, the shoulder slant, and the neckline. We are done with this upper area. Okay, now we're going to come down to the lower side